Hello again and welcome to Cloudforest Vibes. So what I'm going to show you today, I'm finally ready to divide this moss that I've got here propagating in these Rubbermaid containers, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that process. It's super easy. There's nothing to this stuff. I mean, I literally just pour water in there and it grows. We've got a new container here. It's roughly the same height, but it's about twice the width. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this moss up out of this container. Oop. See, nice and wet. I'm going to plop it right down there. And that's going to give it more room to do what it does. You know, get every little piece, throw it all in there. And we're going to go ahead and change the water out. We're going to get our second container. We are going to pick this moss straight up out of this container. We are going to plop it right down in there. And that is it. I mean, I will make sure I've got everything. Now, what I like to do is I do like to tease it apart just a little bit. So now it has a lot more space to move out and grow and spread and divide, and that's what we want. So we're going to help it. You can get it to you. Stick it right down in there. That'll help keep it moist again. It will branch, it will split, it will actually help the moss when you do this. So tease it out and stick it right back down in itself. Sphagnum moss is super easy to grow if you can get your hands on it, because sometimes that's the hardest part. I mean, just getting your hands on the stuff here in the States at least can be pretty difficult. So I snip them back a little bit and I stick them right down in there. So that's going to fill this container quite nicely. Still leaving some long ones, but that's it. Now, all this stuff down here that we've cut off, it's going to sprout new heads like this, and it's going to keep growing. And these containers, I promise you, are going to look like the other containers really quickly. So poke around in the base. See how there's gaps? I'm just spreading the moss around just a little bit, letting it wander about more. We're going to take some of these on the sides, we're going to tear them, and we're going to stick it right down in itself. Stick it right down in itself. A little fluff, and then I like to drop it. Alright, so here we are, our two containers, and you know these containers have lines on them. So all I do is I like to go just below that first line. I'm going to fill this thing up halfway to that line with clean water, maybe a little bit better, maybe 3/4. And then we are just going to take a splash of kelp. So we are just to that line, and that is all we need to do. Now, once or twice a day, depending on the heat, what I do like to do is I will come in and I will top spray this moss just to make sure it stays nice and moist. And that is it. That is how I propagate my sphagnum moss hydroponically in containers in my greenhouse. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you can find this stuff, definitely try it out. It's great stuff. It is really, really, really beneficial to the orchids, and it looks great. So, back in the greenhouse with the moss, I wanted to show you where I grow it. I've got it right in front of the window. I don't know if you can see that, but that is the sky outside. It's a very gray day. I've got 30% shade netting as a curtain over the majority of the window, except for right in front of these couple guys here in the corner. They seem to really like the extra boost of light. But this is not an orchid video, this is a moss video. So they get light from the morning from that direction, and as the sun moves across, my house, they get light up until about 11 a.m. or so, and then at about 11:30 or 12, my artificial lights kick on, and they get pretty high light right here. I had them both up here for now. I had them both up here before, but for now, as you see, we have 2 containers. So we have definitely propagated our moss well so far. It's I honestly think it's doubled in size in just about 2 months, and we're just going to continue to monitor it and see what happens. So you can see where it's at now, where the level is. You can see how it's doing. All those tips you cut off and stick back down in there, it just helps propagate even more moss. It will turn this moss into another 2 or 4 containers here in just a few months' time. So they get real high light. The humidity in here is pretty high. It's about 85%. I'm sorry, I think, yeah, about 85% in here right now. And it's about 73.6 degrees. So not too hot. It will get warm. It'll get a lot warmer in the summer, so we'll monitor and see if I have to move them around. But that is how I grow my moss. I hope you guys learned something from this. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much again for tuning into my channel. I hope I am able to teach you guys a whole bunch of things and help you guys grow lovely plants. Thanks. I hope you're staying safe. Take care until next time. Happy growing.